the Riot MMO and Classic Plus are two of the most anticipated MMOs to grace the MMO scene in a very, very long time. But they both have a very integral key issue. We don't know when, where, or why we're going to be getting an announcement or post. Now, with the Riot MMO, we knew that it was relatively close to completion before it essentially got, quotation marks, restarted after Ghostcrawler left Riot to work on his own new MMO. Whereas Classic Plus, we know is coming to some degree or another. Its name won't be Classic Plus, just like the Riot MMO's name won't be Riot MMO, and it's likely going to get announced at next BlizzCon, September 12th to 13th, 2026. So at the earliest dates, we are sadly looking at very late 2026 to around early mid 2027 before we actually get to see or partake in either the Riot MMO or Classic Plus. Now, this video is about the conceptual and hypothetical big new MMO on the block. Now, everybody knows that Riot as a company goes out of their way to effectively stranglehold the market and kill and take over the entire industry or the niche they are attempting to go into. They did it with League of Legends, they did it with Valorant, they tried to do it with the League of Legends trading card game, and then they realized they couldn't monetize it because nobody's buying card back plates, and they were like, well, we can't make games pay to win. It's one of the core tenets, because the moment you make games pay to win, you lose that Western audience, especially in games like League or Valorant, things of that nature. And now they're making their fighting game, which again is looking to do numbers. It's just what they do. Whereas Blizzard used to be the GOAT, the golden company, the golden standard. When Blizzard made a game, everybody delayed their products. When Blizzard said they were launching something, everybody panicked because their game and their niche and their industry might just be getting swallowed up by Blizzard. And the Blizzard of the modern day and age is no longer that company. But they have been getting their reputation back step by step, a little by little, under Microsoft. So, looking at the future, we have the old standard, Blizzard, versus the new standard, Riot. And both companies have their faults, and both are making the next big MMO, which is rather interesting to think that this is what we are doing in 2027. World of Warcraft versus Runeterra. Now, let's discuss the Riot MMO first before I touch on Classic Plus. Riot tried to make an MMO, and initially they got very, very close to a finished product, and I do want to clarify, the initial Riot MMO was quite literally World of Warcraft with a Riot skin and better. And Riot decided that they did not want to make a better WoW clone. They wanted to make a better MMO, a better game, a better product. They didn't want to just make World of Warcraft but Riot. Few things. They didn't scrap the whole game. The world, the art, all that stuff has relatively remained unchanged. But they changed the combat, they changed the gameplay, and I think they changed a few other things related to the gameplay itself instead of the aesthetics. Now, this put the MMO back 3-4 years, give or take. And this delay happened around 2023, early 2023, around that time frame. But we know for a fact it's still thriving and growing and doing well. Mark Merrill, aka Riot Tryndamere, quite literally said as much. It's coming, it's gonna be good. We're not telling you guys anything until that point in time. Now, if you look at the people they've hired, what's happening in the industry, how much talent Riot have stolen from competitors, we know the Riot MMO is going to be a good game when it does eventually launch. Now, before I go back to Classic Plus, we need to discuss the key thing behind Riot. They will cancel the game if it's bad. So there is a chance that we will get to 2026, 2027, and Riot's announcement to the whole community, to everybody, is we're canceling the Riot MMO because we could not make a better game. And if we can't make a better game, we're not going to enter our market and struggle and make a middling product that costs us millions. We enter to be king, not to be second place, not to be third place, to win. Now, I'm going to go talk about Classic Plus a little bit before I start doing more comparisons between the two. Now, Classic Plus, for the most part, is this hypothetical dream child, this dream creation of classic World of Warcraft, but modernized with the classic ethos and vibes. And that's kind of problematic because it's incredibly hard to do. Classic Plus is effectively World of Warcraft 2, but based off of Classic instead of a World of Warcraft 2 based off of retail, which makes the problem that the Classic dev team, a smaller team which has grown in recent years, has a gargantuan task ahead of them. Now, Season of Discovery was effectively an alpha/beta of Classic Plus, and it blew up rather well on its launch, 500,000 players, and did dwindle down over the years. Classic Plus, when it does come out, is going to have effectively 1 million plus players on day one, so long as it comes out with the official Classic Plus moniker. They use Season of Discovery as a way to skirt around that. They never said it was Classic Plus. They never said this is the future. They said this is a season, we're trying things, come have fun. So when they do go to Classic Plus, it's gonna be with the entire MMO community watching, hoping that this is the effective WoW 2 they've been waiting for. Because retail is a very old, convoluted game with 20 years of corpses buried underneath its decaying systems. It's still a rather good game. I'm not gonna diss retail World of Warcraft. It's still fun. It's just not for everybody. And that's what the Classic Plus MMO is trying to address. Making World of Warcraft accessible to a very large portion of the MMO player base once again. Now, we effectively know we're not getting anything at bare bones, at a minimum, until BlizzCon next year. Which means between now and then, Riot and Blizzard are both keeping all information on the down low. The only thing we effectively know is we are getting something big for Classic after BlizzCon, and we are getting big information about the Riot MMO once the team's ready to actually put it into alpha/beta. Which means for the entire MMO industry, the earliest time we'll get to look at the two new biggest MMOs is late 2026. Now, Riot, much like Blizzard, does a thing where they look at their competitors and launch their products at the same date the competitors launch their products. What do I mean by that? Blizzard, for the longest time, would launch the new expansions, the major patches, on the launch dates or the launch dates of expansions of new MMOs or upcoming RPGs or things of that nature. Because they knew that when Blizzard launched a product, their players wouldn't try the new MMO, the new product, they would stick to play the new patch, the new expansion, the new product from Blizzard. And Riot does the same thing. Riot times the launches around competitors because it's the best way to kill your competitor without actively having to spend money on killing them. You launch the product at the same time the competitor does. So if Riot announces Riot MMO's beta or alpha early 2026 or mid 2026, Classic Plus will very likely launch sooner as well, and vice versa. If Classic Plus announces itself earlier, the Riot MMO will likely do something as well. Now, neither of these teams are ready. To be upfront, Riot has a huge team working on their product, whereas Classic Plus's team is like a growing team that's using the bones of Blizzard that's already existing of World of Warcraft Classic to expand upon it. So both sides need time to unveil a product that's not going to flop and fail, because both products get one shot. The MMO industry, it's very hard to get a second chance. Final Fantasy XIV is the only MMO I know that got a second chance and did it correctly. So when you consider that, neither Classic Plus nor the Riot MMO can effectively take the risk of launching a subpar product. So it's this game of cat and mouse. Whichever one launches and fails and flops is going to immediately give its competitor the winning edge. Which means if Riot and Classic Plus launch within 3 months of each other, and the first one fails, the other one immediately becomes a new dominant game in the industry. Now, Riot, regardless, is going to get a very huge player base because almost all of their games are free to play. So what do I mean by that? The Riot MMO is going to be a free to play game. We know for a fact it's going to be free to play. They likely will make things you can buy and have, like cosmetics, toys, like statues, figurines, things of that nature. That Scuttle Crab there is $30 from the Riot merch store. That Misfortune statue right there, $75, Riot merch store. They'll just make things that you can buy off their merch store, physical things. They might even do a collector's edition for the Riot MMO that you can buy that comes with a game code for cosmetics in-game, or currency money, or battle pass money that you can use in-game. But there's not going to be like a physical CD or things of that nature. Classic Plus will likely do the same thing, but it's a sub-game, so just like Classic Rain 19 had a collector's box you could get, which came with mounts for retail and things of that nature. They'll probably do the same thing with 2026 Classic Plus and things of that nature. It's just what they do. Like, they don't really release physical CDs for PC games anymore. It's just not a real thing. But nonetheless, Riot MMO is going to be free. By virtue of being free to play, it has an advantage over Classic Plus. A free to play game has much lower barrier to entry because everybody can try it out. There is no sub cost, box price, anything of that nature. Now, Riot is going to make money hand over fist because they are kings at cosmetics and battle pass and things of that nature. If they make a Vastaya race, that's like the Ahris and things of that nature, and they sell bikini outfits and things of that nature. Just like Final Fantasy XIV is rolling in money from cat girl outfits and things of that nature, the Riot MMO will as well. Now, Blizzard won't really add things like that to the store. Despite it making a lot of money, they're a lot more conservative with their cosmetics and how they approach things. They do sexy, funny, cool things, but it's mostly more funny than it is sexy. They're almost slightly Puritan in comparison to other companies that make skins and things of that nature. But that's just one facet. A free-to-play game is going to have a bigger player base and more forgiveness versus a paid game. If I play the Riot MMO for free and they make a mistake, I'm more likely to forgive them for it and give them a second or third try. If I pay $15 a month to play Classic Plus and it's a terrible, shitty launch and I'm frustrated, I'm unhappy, I might give them a second chance because I'm an MMO player, I'm an MMO content creator. But the average user may not, especially after all the drama that Blizzard has. Now, Riot's player base may hate Riot, but they're still gonna play the game and forgive them over and over again. For example, Tyler 1. He would have loved to quit League of Legends if there was a better MOBA. And Dota's there, but nobody really wants to play Dota compared to League of Legends. A lot of League's player base is sadly addicted and stuck, and they're all going to play the Riot MMO and have a good time. Will they stick with it? Maybe, maybe not. But it's going to have a huge launch. League has almost 300 million unique monthly users, not counting China. If even 10% of those players play the Riot MMO, that is about 20 to 30 million unique players on day one of the Riot MMO. Blizzard at its absolute peak, at 13 million paid subscribers playing Wrath of the Lich King at the very end and Cataclysm's launch. And Classic Plus may potentially, if it's actually a phenomenal, great game, hit 5-10 million subscribers by itself. But League is gonna have a huge player base regardless. Whether the game is good or bad, the launch is gonna be ginormous. And I'm gonna be upfront with everybody, the likelihood of Riot making a bad MMO is incredibly, minusculely small. They may make bad monetization changes. They may have bad PvP balance and patches. They may even make huge mistakes with storytelling and lore. The Ruination event, for example. But the game is going to launch in a really good state because they have not had a bad launch yet. Every company makes mistakes eventually, but League is going 4 for 4 with game launchers right now. League is doing phenomenal. I'm saying League, but I mean Riot in this context. Riot is doing a really, really good job. Blizzard is doing better. Like I said, under Microsoft, they've improved a lot as a company. But Classic Plus has a lot of things hinging on it that is kind of tied to Blizzard as a company making so many mistakes over the years. The Classic player base is a very divided, angry community that just want something that they're all happy with, but they all want something somewhat different. So despite a lot of MMO players from other games and other players and people that just quit in general willing to come back and try it, the core Classic player base may tank the game before it even gets the chance to get off the ground properly. But again, we aren't going to really have any real information until, if I'm being honest, mid-early 2026 at the luckiest. And now I'm saying that at the absolute luckiest. Realistically, don't expect any news until the very end of 2026, early 2027. And even then, it might just be a trailer and people saying, get ready for the alpha beta. It's in 6 months from now. So thank you all for watching. I cannot wait to play both of these MMOs. But I'm really excited for Runeterra MMO world to see Mordekaiser, see all these bosses and all this unique storytelling in person. I also want to have, like Artery and Misfortune characters, like chef's kiss in design. That's all I'm saying. But thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. If you hated it, understandable. Dislike and subscribe so you can hate my next video too. Thank you all for watching. Ebonhard out. Peace.